So hello everyone, today we are going to study about SSH Dynamic Port Forwarding. First of all, we are going to see the theory and then we are going to move to the practical demonstration. Now before studying this port forwarding, why do we need this port forwarding? Now suppose there is a corporate network or any kind of network and there is a device. It can be a server or anything which is accessible from the outside world, and there are devices inside this network. Now these devices are not directly accessible from the outside world, and this is you, the attacker. Now since this device is accessible from outside world, anyhow your team, you got a foothold on this device, and now your further task is to expand your foothold horizontally. Now you want to get access to these devices also, but since these devices are not directly accessible, there are two things which you could do. First of all, you can SSH to this device and then you can access these devices, but it's gonna be a inefficient solution because the foothold you are having, that device can have the relevant tools you need or not. Suppose you want to scan the internal network, but this PC, this that server or something, this is not having the nmap in it. So how to solve this problem? The solution of this problem is SSH dynamic port forwarding. We are going to create a tunnel. We are going to create a tunnel, and it will make it seem like these internal devices are just the part of your own network. How we are going to do so? We are going to use a command ssh -d, then our local port, then the ssh credential, username @IP. This command is going to create this tunnel. Suppose the port we are using is 9050 port. This command is going to open a SOCKS server on this 9050 port. So through this command we have successfully established our tunnel, and then we have to route our traffic through this tunnel. How we can achieve, like if I'm directly going to access the devices, I can't route these packets directly through these devices. Now how can I have to use proxy chains. Proxy chains is gonna help me to route my relevant packets which I want to directly to this internal network. So suppose I am having nmap, so I can directly scan the internal network using proxy chains and this tunnel. So how to use proxy chains? You have to first of all install the proxy chains and then open the file /etc/proxy chains .config. In this file, at last you have to add a line and then the port on which you configured the tunnel. Now to route the packets, now suppose I want to do a nmap scan on this internal network. What I'll do is I'll simply, suppose this is your command, this is your command line. Here you will write proxy chains and then the command. Now for nmap scan, what you're going to do is proxy chains nmap -pn and then the IP address. The host which you are using is called pivot. I want to add a few more things to the scenario. Since this device is accessible from the outside and the inside world, this accessible device is accessible from the outside and the inside network. So it will be having two interfaces, one connected to this outside network and other connected to this inside network, and these two interfaces will be having different IPs. Suppose 192.168.1.1, and this is gonna have 10.1.1.1. Definitely this will be a public IP, but for just demonstration purpose, let's have it 192.168.1.1. And definitely my attack host will also gonna have IP. Okay, so this is the internal network. Now how will I do the nmap scan? Proxy chains, nmap, and then minus pn, and then the which IP I'm going to use is, I won't use this IP address because the interface pointing towards the network is this. So I'll use this IP address, and then the subnet mask, suppose it is. So now we're going to see the practical demonstration of it. Our pivot host is 10.129.41.156. So we are having a foothold on it. So let us do a SSH on it first. SSH. Okay, so first we will learn about our pivot. So let's. Okay. Now I'll learn about the interfaces. I'll learn about the network. See, this network is connected. This interface is connected to me, the outside world, and this interface is connected towards the inside network or the internal network. Now I'm going to exploit this interface. So let us do our dynamic port forwarding. SSH -D, this is our command. 9050 is my local port, and enter. And now let us set up the proxy chains. Sudo vim proxy chains file, and you can see I have already added this line. So if you have not added this line, you can add this line, and then let's save it. And now do the scanning. Now I'll use this in the scan, this IP in the scan. So let us copy this IP. So I told you now to tunnel my data through the port, through the tunnel. Now to send my data through the tunnel, I'll use proxy chains before the command. Okay, and then enter. Now the nmap scan is successfully started. Now the nmap scan have some limitations with this tunneling, the SSH tunneling. Okay, so which is like not the scope of this video, this lecture, that we're going to discuss in another lecture. So we have successfully demonstrated that we have created a tunnel, we have done the SSH dynamic port forwarding, and the internal network is now successfully reachable to us using proxy chains and SSH dynamic port forwarding. Thank you so much.